Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Welcome to the MLive Morning Weather Update. Wow, we got a nice sunny day. Enjoy it. It won't be the warmest day ever, but we'll get the benefits of the March sunshine. We'll feel it. So this is the time of year where the thermometer might say 35, and you might say, feels warmer than that. And yes, we're eyeing the next snowstorm, which looks like it would be on Friday, basically. Of course, snowstorm Friday. We're getting kind of used to that. Hey, good morning, Kylie Aldridge. Good morning, Sue Stratz. Good morning, Michael Predmore from sunny Monroe, way down there in the south. You get spring first out of everybody, it looks like. And good morning, Catherine Claire from Kingsley. Here we go. And there it is, the sunny skies. We're at the point, too, where the sun is coming up early enough that I can show you the visible satellite, which is basically, what your eyes would see if you were out in space. So someone's trying to sell Houston rodeo tickets. We don't do that here, Corrine John. This is a weather discussion. So you can see where the snow from the Friday snowstorm is on the ground and where it isn't on the ground. Now, we look at the bigger picture, and there you can see our snowstorm out west hitting the west coast, and there's that subtropical jet stream of moisture coming into it. Now, I will say this storm coming up looks somewhat similar to the one we had on Friday, with a difference or two. Somewhat similar in that it's kind of taking somewhat the same tracks, southwest to northeast, somewhat. It doesn't look like it's as moisture laden as past Friday's storm was. And it also looks like it's kind of more stretched out, elongated, not a concentrated type snowfall. So all of those will mean maybe a larger snow shield, but not quite as heavy. But by March standards, I think you'll still call it a snowstorm in some places, probably a low end snowstorm. Now, here's the European model. Okay, so let's blow her up and give you the the squiggly lines in as big as detail as possible. I want to remind you, and this is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me. Hey, sup, Dennis Bennett from Pickney. Sup with you. So what you're seeing here, blue lines and red lines are upper level temperatures. Blue lines cold enough for snow, and the more blue lines you're into, the colder it is. Red lines warmer. Okay. Then you're seeing the 6-hour amounts of precipitation and these green blobs and blue blobs. And then you're also seeing the pressure pattern, which just means tighter pressure, helps us track the center of the storm and if it will be windy. So today we're looking at a light northeast wind, and so that brings the cold air in off of Lake Huron for the east side of the state, and the west side of the state doesn't get that cooling. So you'll be a lot warmer in Grand Rapids than you will be in Saginaw Bay City and the Thumb. And Flint, you're kind of on the edge. You still get that cooling effect. So we're into Wednesday now. Dry conditions, good travel. If you're heading south, great couple of days for that. Now here's Thursday and continues to be dry. Now here's Friday. This is Friday morning, 8 a.m. Now remember, these are 6-hour amounts of precipitation. So the gray you see over southwest half of lower Michigan, that's less than a tenth of an inch of liquid. So that would say that maybe up to an inch of snow arriving by Friday morning by sunrise. And then here's middle of the day Friday, and the tenth to a quarter of an inch in a 6-hour period liquid, which in this case we can see that it would be in the form of snow, would be a couple inches of snow. And then here's Friday afternoon into Friday evening, another 1 to 2 inches of snow in that period. And then here's Friday evening into Friday night, the storm moving off, and here's Saturday morning, the storm is done. And if you're driving on Saturday, aside from the fresh snow that's fallen and the cold temperatures in the morning, Saturday will provide some sunshine and decent travels. And then already by Sunday night into Monday, maybe the next little storm system coming through. And look what the models want to do now. They want to take some energy and, for the first time this winter, develop a nor'easter. And why is that important? Because behind the nor'easter comes the straight northerly flow for Michigan next week, Tuesday, and the temperature goes into the tank. So if you have spring break next week here in Michigan and you're escaping, it looks like you'll want to escape. But also note that that cold front could make it into Florida by Wednesday of next week, and that would be a north wind and cooler temperatures. So, excuse me, you may be better off in South Padre or Texas than you would be in Florida next week. All right, a little closer of a look for you on exactly how that lays out. So this is Wednesday and Thursday. I've told you that's dry. This is Friday morning snow, Friday afternoon snow, Friday evening snow. Note, just some moderate areas of snow, kind of a snowstorm, but not really super organized. And probably the reason why is because the energy is going to shift to the East Coast. That's where kind of the focusing mechanism is right now. Jim Maidlow rubbing it in. Sunny and warm here in Lakeland. Well, yeah, Jim, at least we have sunny here in Michigan. And I know you want to know this. You know what? I throw up my hands after 32 years. You want to know how much snow? Here it is. Here it is. I would call this what looks like, from my experience, it looks like a 2 to 5 inch snow system. And we don't know if it's 5 inches in Detroit or 5 inches in Grand Rapids just yet. Again, the energy kind of in the southern half of the state more so that would be where the heavier snow would be. But I'll just show you, just so you know. This is the European. This is by midday Friday, 2-3 inches. And then this is by the time it's done Saturday. And there you can see even the European agrees with me that it's a 2 to 5 inch snow with a lot of 3 and 4 inches, but we'll have to just keep an eye on that, okay? Temperatures, like I said, are probably going into the tanker. Northeast wind today means Caro's 32. Bad Axe is cold at 31. A little bit warmer at Flint at 38. Cold in the Tri-Cities, especially downtown Bay City. And then you get to Grand Rapids, 44, and Ann Arbor, 42, so not too bad with sunshine. Wednesday, also a northeast wind, cold on the east side, cold in the north. Grand Rapids, not bad, 43. Kalamazoo, not bad, 42. Ann Arbor, Detroit, not bad, in the low 40s. Thursday, a continued northeast wind, continued cold on the east side, Saginaw Bay City, Midland. Get your coats out. Your spine is going to be cold and rigid, while Grand Rapids, not bad. Now, Friday, snow system coming through, cools everybody. Cold, high of below freezing. Saturday, cold in the low 30s. Sunday, trying to pop back to upper 30s to 40 in spots. Monday, in the upper 30s. Remember, then the East Coast nor'easter develops, and look what the European model wants to do. It wants to yank much colder air south into our region next Tuesday, March 14th, next Wednesday in the 30s and 20s, and next Thursday in the 20s and 30s. And that's why I'm saying the weather will go into the tank. Let's basically say this weekend in through next week, probably for a couple of weeks in March, although I'm actually now today seeing that maybe the models are going to overdo the length, the duration of the much colder than normal air. Maybe it's going to let up in about 2 weeks. And I still go by the theory that when it lets up, it's probably our last wintry blob because the polar vortex has died. That doesn't mean that we won't have frosts. Doesn't mean we couldn't even have a snow, but it will be very short-lived kind of cold. And we'll make our next jump to having a lot of highs in the 50s at that point. But you got to wait a couple weeks for that. Hey, there you go. There's your thorough morning weather update, right? Thanks for joining me. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Let your friends know that this is how we do it, and this is how you like to have your weather presented to you. And I appreciate it very much. Take care. Have yourselves a great Tuesday.